Bruchim Habayim, welcome everyone to a special edition of All Parsha on Parshas Boy, Chasam Sofer on Parshas Boy. This week, I'd like to share with you an amazing approach to the Chasam Sofer. This comes from the Sefer Chasam Sofer HaChadash, pages Samach Zayin to Samach Ches, on the encounter between Moshe Rabbeinu and Paroi before the very last Makkah. After Makkah's Choshech, Parak Yud, Pasuk Chav Ches. Vayomer Loi Paroi Lech Me Eloi. Paroi says, leave, go, get out of here. Hishamer lecha, be careful. Al toisef ra'os panai. I don't want you to see my face again. Ki b'yoyim ra'oscha fanai Thomas. You're going to die the day you see my face. Vayomer Moshe. Moshe says, Kain dibarta. You spoke well. Lo oisef oid ra'os panecha. I will not see your face again. Rashi comments on these words of Moshe. Kain dibarta. Yafeh dibarta. You spoke beautifully, Paroi. Uvizmanoi dibarta. You spoke in a timely manner. MS. It is true. I will not see your face again. What is Rashi getting at? What is Moshe Rabbeinu trying to tell Paroi? What's this emphasis on? Indeed, I will not see your face again. Why is Moshe Rabbeinu saying, you're right, you're speaking correctly, you're speaking in a timely fashion, I will indeed not see your face again? Says the Chasam Sofer, in general, we have to understand, how is Moshe Rabbeinu allowed to look at the face of Paroi? Isn't it asur l'histakel b'fnei rasha? Isn't it prohibited to gaze at a rasha? However, says the Chasam Sofer, the reason why one is not supposed to gaze at a rasha is because looking at something establishes a certain connection with that item, and it could influence someone adversely to look at a rasha. However, a very great tzaddik not only is not adversely effective, but actually, and the Chasam Sofer introduces an idea which is found in many places in the writings of the Chasam Sofer, and this really comes from his Rebbe, the Hafla, as well as the Rav Nosson Adler. Chasam Sofer quotes Rav Nosson Adler in Parshas Bahaloischa. The Hafla is found in the Panim Yafos in this week's Parsha, that there's an idea that everything in this world, for it to have vitality, for it to exist, it has to have nitzoitzos of Kedusha, sparks of Kedusha. Even a rasha has to have sparks of Kedusha in order to exist. However, when a tzaddik approaches a rasha and looks at the rasha, the tzaddik is the great fire. So, just like if a great fire comes in proximity to a small flame, the small flame is becomes subsumed in the great fire. When a tzaddik looks at a rasha, he's able to extract the sparks of Kedusha from the rasha, and that could bring the demise of the rasha. We find throughout Shas, we find in Masechta Brachos, that Reb Sheshes would look at someone, and they became gal shel atzamos, a pile of bones. What is this phenomenon where Rav Sheshes and Brachos Nun Ches would look at a rasha, and we have this expression many times in Shas, v'nasa gal shel atzamos. Says the Chasam Sofer, when a tzaddik sees a rasha, he could zero in on the sparks of Kedusha of that rasha, and then attract and suck out of the rasha whatever nitzoitzos of Kedusha the rasha has, and without those sparks of Kedusha, the rasha just disintegrates and no longer exists. Now the Chasam Sofer says, even though everything in this world has sparks of Kedusha, the melech, even a melech of the Umayis HaOlam, will have even more sparks of Kedusha than a regular person, and in order to extract these sparks, we need a very great person. This is the reason why we are Choylek Kaveh L'Malchus. This is the reason Eliyahu HaNavi accorded honor to the king. Even Moshe Rabbeinu gave Kaveh to the Malchus. The reason being, because there's a certain degree of Kedusha that is latent in the Melech, even if the Melech is a rasha, and only a great person is able to extract that Kedusha. There is no doubt, says the Chasam Sofer, Paroi too had many nitzoitzos of Kedusha, and only someone of the caliber of Moshe could approach Paroi and remove his Kedusha. By the time we're up to the very last Makkah, Moshe Rabbeinu had nearly completely removed and extracted and extricated from Paroi every last spark of Kedusha. So when Paroi says, Leich me alai, al toisef ra'os panai, Moshe Rabbeinu says, you got it, pal, Kain dibarta, you spoke well, I'm not going to look at you again. The only reason I've been allowed to look at you is because there was a tayeles. that I needed to extract the sparks of Kedusha in you. But now that we've almost finished the Makos and you have no Kedusha left, you're right. You've spoken in a timely manner. I will not look at you again. I have no business left with you. I have nothing to take out of you. I'm done with you. Indeed. Kain dibarta, lo oisif oidro ois panecha. Rashi so beautifully says, and we see this treasure laden in the words of Rashi. Yafed dibarta, you spoke beautifully. Uvizmanoi dibarta, you spoke timely. MS, the truth is, shloi oisif oidro ois panecha. This is the beautiful explanation of the Chasam Sofer, and he says this explains the phenomenon of according honor to the Malchus. And he says, even though this might be a difficult concept for those who don't appreciate the sanctity of the tzaddik, but for those who can appreciate the great sanctity of the tzaddik, we can understand how the overwhelming fire of sanctity of a tzaddik is able to zero in on the small sparks of Kedusha and the Rasha, and it becomes subsumed, and that is the phenomenon that we sometimes find in the Gemara, the Nasa Gal Shalat Somais. Wishing everyone a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos Parshas Boy. Haba Aleinu L'Tova.